Hey, welcome to tonight's wrestling match. Triple duel going on tonight between Park Falls, Nekoosa, and Pittsville. I'm your announcer, Rick Winters, and my producer tonight from the great city of Wausau is Ryan Rasmussen. We're going to begin this thing right at 6 o'clock. Park Falls and Pittsville will be taking part in the first duel. Then Park Falls will be wrestling Nekoosa. And the final duel tonight will be Nekoosa against Pittsville. Now, the advantage for Park Falls going the first two matches is they have the long drive. Also, this is a big building year for Park Falls, Chequamegon. They only have 3 wrestlers going tonight. A few are out with injuries. A few from last year opted not to come out this year. And so it's kind of a down year. Chequamegon, as you probably know, in the winter, they have the option not just basketball and wrestling. Chequamegon also has hockey. So that really makes it difficult for a smaller school to get that number of athletes. But in talking with Chequamegon's coach, Jerry Ernst, he was telling me they have a great group of 8th graders, and he's very excited about next year. The assistant for Chequamegon, Jerry Ernst, the head coach, Eric Brown is the assistant. And for Pittsville here in this dual meet, head coach is Eric Hahn, and the assistant coach is Jeremy Dewar. So Chequamegon, as I said, is down on numbers. They're not going to win many dual meets with the numbers they have. It's just not possible. As I said last time when I was announcing, 14 weight classes, it makes it difficult. So Chequamegon, the Eagles, having their lineup a senior, a junior, and a first-year freshman. We'll take a break right now for the national anthem. Okay, first match will be coming up shortly. The official for tonight's action is Ted Kiefer out of Stevens Point. Ted made the Stevens Point Pacelli Hall of Fame this last fall, and congratulations, Ted. Great wrestler back in the 80s for Pacelli, and Ted's been a good ref for many years. Looks like we're going to be starting this match off tonight at 1:38. Pittsville will be sending out Aiden Federwitz. Aiden's a junior with a record this year of 22-14, wrestling at 138. And for Park Falls, he'll be going against a senior, Noah Zigman. Noah was 6th in the Merriwood Conference last weekend. Noah enters with a 5-13 record.
If we could have all of the youth wrestlers, please return to the bleachers at this time. Thank you.
Tonight, as you probably just heard, was Pittsville Youth Night. They probably brought in about 50 or 60 kids in their youth program. And I tell you, with what I've been seeing lately with those 8th graders, 7th graders, Pittsville's going to have a good team in the next few years coming up. So Ted Kiefer takes Aiden Federwitz and Noah Zigman out to the mat. They shake hands and off they go. Aiden last year had a 29-19 record. He really came on strong. He's up about 20 pounds this year, and his record's very similar to last year. He's close in every match. He just can't quite turn the corner. And here he is on Zigman trying to reach for that far leg, scoot behind. And he got behind, but moves it to a double and gets the three-point takedown. So Aiden Federwitz quickly jumps out to a 3-0 lead over Noah Zigman. Looks like Pittsville's next wrestler coming up after 138 is going to be all the way up to 157. He seems to be the one warming up. And Zigman will be down with 1:14 left here in the first period. Zigman does a quick stand-up, and Federwitz is finding himself in a lot of trouble bringing him back to the mat. Zigman sprawling out, putting a lot of pressure on that head, trying to free his leg and get the escape. And the referee does give him the 1-point escape. 3-1 with 50 seconds remaining. Federwitz is going to try to secure another takedown in the last 50 seconds. He has to be a little more aggressive than what he is currently being. Zigman does a shot in on him. Federwitz is going for that same takedown he just had. But he couldn't get it this time. You can see him a little disgusted there. He gave a little shake of his head. He knew he should have had it. And there's a nice, very nice duck under. Takes him right to his back with that extended fireman's that he was trying, a little dump that he did. He's got him ready for his back, but didn't secure any back points, just the takedown. Moving his lead out to 6-1. Noah's got about 5 seconds here to try to stand up again, but that coffee grinder comes on from Federwitz. He's going to use that to ride out the period. And after one period, Aiden Federwitz hangs on to a 6-1 lead. Moving into the second period, it was Chequamegon's choice for the second period, and Noah Zigman chose both up. Kind of an interesting call in that he got taken down twice in the first period, but he does a very nice shot, comes around, and obviously he knew what he was doing. He secures the three-point takedown, closes this match up to a 6-4 score, and Aiden Federwitz on the bottom there's got to get away. Aiden does a stand-up, working on the hands, secures it, quickly moves in, and gets a 2-point reversal. Working on a little bit of arm control, Federwitz is. My guess is he's working for a barbed wire, maybe, working underneath. He might try stepping through the legs and getting a little bit of a Turk on him. On the bottom there, Noah's trying to figure out just how he's going to get out of this. I think his gas tank's starting to run out a little bit. You don't quite see that explosive move from the bottom that you saw the first period. There it was, though. Nice stand-up. Federwitz took him right back down again, though. Just when I thought Noah's gas tank was running empty, he did a very nice explosive stand-up. Federwitz's very good job with that ride, keeping a lot of weight on him. He used the coffee grinder in the first period. This period, though, he seems to be working more, trying just for a tilt. Noah Zigman did an awful lot of work there to do the stand-up. When you can't get away on something like that, it's very discouraging. Get put back down again. And that period ends with Aiden Federwitz now moving out to an 8-4 lead. So 6-1 in the first, 8-4 in the second. Zigman did close the gap a little bit, but Federwitz now chooses to take the bottom. Aiden got to rest, well, not rest, but you conserve a lot more energy on top than what you do trying to get away from a person. Let's see now if he can turn that energy into some offense. Does a nice turn into Zygmunt. And Noah's kind of trying to hang on. He's got a half on there on the top, but it'd be really hard to score any points off of that. Federowitz is going to pull his head out. There he does, and 2-point reversal. Zygmunt on the bottom there tried for a headlock. Very hard to get, but I'll tell you what, it hurts. And there's a nice little sit out for him. Gets you a 1-point escape, and they're off the mat. Minute to go. Federowitz is hanging on to a 10-5 lead. You need to have a difference of 8 points to secure the major, and with that takedown right there, Federowitz does move out to an 8-point difference. He now secures a 13-5 lead. He is going to let Zygmunt go and secures another takedown. He's going to try to secure a tech fall. It's going to be tough to do in 30 seconds. He only has a 9-point difference. It'd be really tough. To secure a tech fall, you have to have a difference of 15, but he holds Zygmunt to his back. That's going to secure at least the 15. This could be a pin in the last 18 seconds. Zygmunt manages to escape the pin, but Aiden Federowitz secures the tech fall with a 23-7 decision. And Pittsville puts 5 points on the board in this first match. Now there will probably be a couple forfeits here for Park Falls. I see first up, Cash Osterman at 144, going to take a forfeit, move his record on the year to 16-8. I don't think Pittsville tonight has a 150-pounder. Peyton Lee, normally their 150 is out with an injury. I'm wrong. James Scheel, normally a 144-pounder, is going to take a forfeit at 150. James is a junior. Last year he had a record of 13-25. This year he has seen very little action, and with that forfeit he moves his record to 1-3 on the year. At 157, Pittsville sends Zach Roberts, and for Park Falls, Aiden McFadden. Zach Roberts is having a fantastic year. He is 26-13 right now. Aiden McFadden, 10-10 on this season. Last week's conference action, Aiden placed 5th in the Merriwood Conference. For the Panthers, their conference tournament is this Saturday at Wittenberg. Believe the CWC conference nowadays has 9 teams in it, and it's a very exciting day of action at Wittenberg. I think it starts around 10 a.m. So, in this match here, McFadden did a very nice shot on a single leg, caught Roberts by surprise, and he's going to pick up the 3-point takedown. So McFadden grabs a quick 3-0 lead. One thing about Zach Roberts that I've noticed this year, he doesn't quit. He will move for 6 minutes, and with that little roll inside, he secures an escape, making it 3-1. Now this is a very big takedown, this next one. If McFadden gets it, he's going to take a 5-point lead, whereas if Roberts gets it, this is going to be anybody's match again. They're both tied up. Roberts works a lot on the head tie. McFadden, meanwhile, is more for the arms. Nice shot in there by Zach, but he stopped. McFadden quickly neutralizes him. Zach tries a little side roll there, dump, type of fireman's, and doesn't get it. Now he's moving in on a single leg. He's got the single leg pretty tight. McFadden, though, does a nice roll through. We used to see something similar to that from Athens, that little roll, and he picks up the 3-point takedown, trying to secure a cradle here now on Roberts. He had that cradle locked up, but the buzzer went off on him just beforehand. Hey, at the end of the first period, Aiden McFadden from Park Falls has a nice 6-1 lead. Kind of a little surprise when a 10-10 record is taking it to someone who is 26-13, but wrestling's a long 6 minutes. Roberts does a quick sit out, moves right in. McFadden had a headlock on him but couldn't follow through, and Zach Roberts secures a 2-point reversal. Now Zach's going to try to ride him out, try to put a little wear on him, keeping that 157 pounds on McFadden as much as he can. At the meanwhile, he also wants to break him down. He's got a half on with a little bit of a spiral ride. Now he's trying to move it up to a cradle. It'd be very difficult to secure a cradle from that position. McFadden keeps moving on the bottom. He keeps trying for little rolls, little sit-outs, trying for a little shoulder roll right there, but Roberts wouldn't let him have that. Minute to go here in this period. Zach Roberts keeps trying for that cradle. And McFadden grabs that head, quickly moves it to a headlock, 2-point reversal, and he is picking up back points. 4 back points at least. There's still 45 seconds to go, and he has that pressure on. There it is. Nice pin for Aiden McFadden from Park Falls. Caught Zach Roberts by surprise on that little roll and capitalizes for the win. McFadden's just a junior, and I'm sure Park Falls Chequamegon is very happy to have him back next year. The next matchup for Chequamegon, it's going to be Ethan Otteson, who's a freshman. Big, tall, lanky kid, 6'5". Ethan is new to the sport. He actually is dual sports, believe it or not. Ethan is playing basketball, and he likes wrestling, so he comes to practice when he can, and tonight he's going to give it a whirl out here. He's going against, for Pittsville, Corbin Lee. Corbin's a sophomore, 11-14 on the season. And Corbin's going to have to change his tactics a little. I'm sure he's never wrestled a guy this tall. Corbin with a nice double leg there and moves around for the 3-point takedown. Ethan Otteson, for as little mat time as he has seen this year, knows a few things. He uses that leverage of his very well. Sprawls out, and he picks up an escape, 3-1. Corbin Lee is going to go for hand control on him and try to get that big long leg a little closer to him. Minute to go here in the first period. A lot of hand fighting going on now between the two of them. Ethan shoots in, but out of position, and Corbin throws him to his back. 3 takedown, going to be back points. He doesn't have the leverage on the chest, so it's going to be very hard to pin Otteson the way he is. Otteson probably will roll out of this, but he picks up 4 back points. That 7-point move right there gives Corbin Lee a very nice 10-1 lead. Otteson trying to use that leverage on a sit-out, tried to turn in. hips got a little low. You know, in wrestling, it's a lot about the hips. Usually, whoever keeps their hips in a higher position maintains the control. Lee's trying to turn him here out in front with a few seconds left. And Lee hung on enough where Ted Kiefer felt no escape. He was still in control. So here in the second period, the choice goes to Corbin Lee. He's going to defer. When you cross your hands in front of you, that signals to the ref, you want to decide the next period. So he's deferring. And Ethan Otteson takes both up. Nice shot in there. Couldn't quite finish it. And Corbin had enough strength to get out of that one. Corbin tries that little roll that just caught Zach Roberts. If he gets the pin here, it's over. If he doesn't get the pin, it's still going to be a 15-point difference. So Corbin's got the match won. It's just a matter now, does he get 5 or 6? Still a minute plus to go. It's going to be really hard for Ethan to hang on that long. Once they start moving back and forth, it makes it just harder and harder. And he managed to move out of near fall criteria, apparently. If you can get out of near fall criteria, you can still have a pin move on the guy, but if he's out of criteria, means his shoulders aren't close enough to the mat. In case of a technical fall, the match is over. I saw that a couple weeks ago when Marathon was wrestling Auburndale. Same type of situation. Now the rest of this dual meet, Pittsville will be picking up forfeits. 175, it's Dylan Cullen for the Panthers going out to get the forfeit. At 190 for the Panthers, junior Jackson Doerr will be receiving a forfeit.
At 190, Pittsville Jackson Doerr receives a forfeit.
At 215 for the Panthers, Sawyer Phillips will be receiving a forfeit.
At 215, Pittsville Sawyer Phillips receives a forfeit.
At 285 for the Panthers, Devin Treglone, a sophomore, will be receiving the forfeit. Devin wrestled 175 last year. He's put on a lot of weight this year, but he looks like he is still building as a sophomore. I'm sure the Panthers are excited about him in the future. At 106 for the Panthers, Owen Kiefer, a newcomer to the sport, will be picking up his forfeit. He just came out for the Panthers about 2 weeks ago. Seems to be enjoying it. Still learning, obviously. And that will wrap it up, this first dual meet. Final score, the first dual meet, the Pittsville Panthers 52, Chequamegon Eagles 6. Hey, stick around. Nekoosa will be up next to wrestle Chequamegon. Should be a very good match. Nekoosa this year has a very good team, a very young team, and full of a lot of fight. The final match between Pittsville and Nekoosa promises to be a real good one. But stick around for the next one between Nekoosa and Chequamegon. This is just a reminder, you are watching Pittsville Wrestling on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eclair.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Tired of hearing about checking account features? So are we. It's more about what you can do with your money to live the life you want. Forward Bank puts your access to everything you need in the palm of your hand. Mobile deposit, recurring digital payments, transfer funds, or pay a friend easily. Yes, our checking is free and includes all that you would expect. It's supported by your neighbors and friends at Forward, dedicated to serving our communities. Open online today at forward.bank.
Find your next car, truck, sport utility, or van at Westside Service Auto Sales in Auburndale. Drive through their lot today to see rows and rows of vehicles ready to test drive. Or you can check out their complete inventory and see this week's featured vehicles at westsideservice.com. And check us out on Facebook. We're open 8 to 6 Monday through Friday or by appointment. At Westside, we service what we sell. Just a short drive from Rapid, Stevens Point, and Marshfield. Find your next ride at Westside Service Auto Sales in Auburndale, where we've been helping people find their next ride for nearly 50 years.
Whether you need deep sleep, beauty sleep, or just need to sleep it off, Mall Furniture has a huge selection of double-sided comfort sleep mattresses. When it's time for a double, it's no trouble. You'll flip over our great prices. There's 2 great sides to this mattress story, and they're made right here in Wisconsin. It's double-sided or nothing.
Get your perfect comfort sleep mattress from Mall Furniture and Mattress, West 9th Street, Marshfield.
See you on the flip side.
So, after a couple years of this, it's time for more money and better opportunities. That's where Mid-State Technical College comes in.
Are you a born leader? Is hospitality your thing? Maybe you're into efficiency. Or do you love building teams? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. So stop getting by and level up today.
I got referred to the orthodontist and I was really nervous, but in my 2-year process, the staff was very welcoming and very kind to me. My brother also had treatment here and he was very happy with a smile. I'd recommend Bruce Orthodontics to all my friends and family that want a beautiful smile just like us.
When I come in for my appointment, the wait is really short. All of the workers are very kind and sweet. They try to make sure that everything in my mouth is just right after my checkup, and Dr. Bruce is very nice.
I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile. Call us to set up your free consultation today.
Retirement is a balancing act because everyone's financial situation is unique. A reverse mortgage loan can transform your home's equity into accessible cash, whether it's to pay off your mortgage, cover bills, or fund your dreams.
The cash is there if we need it, and it just takes a little stress off of our lives.
You have something else to fall back on?
Call me, Josh Kilty, your local retirement mortgage specialist, for a free consultation to help bring financial stability to your life.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield. Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
Looking to buy flooring today? Shop R&R Flooring and Furniture. We have more flooring in stock and ready to go than the big box stores. Over 250,000 square feet.
That's right, over 250,000 square feet of luxury vinyl planking carpet in over 150 colors.
R&R guarantees you will find what you're looking for at a price you won't find anywhere else.
Grab your new floor today or schedule an installation.
When it comes to flooring, furniture, and mattresses,
it's easy.
Come to R&R Flooring and Furniture today. That's all it takes.
Hey, welcome back to the Pittsville Coliseum. Food and fun are the features at Horsin' Around in downtown Pittsville. Stop in for the daily food specials like $3 burgers on Tuesday and their Friday fish fry. There's great food and fun at Horsin' Around in downtown Pittsville. Check them out on Facebook. And Martin Motors supports the Pittsville Panthers and the Pittsville community. Martin Motors provides complete auto repair with local loaner transportation on request. Call Lance or Amber today to keep your ride running smoothly. Martin Motors, Highway 80 in Pittsville. Martin Motors also does a great job with my lawnmower and my ATV. And C&D Auto Body and Sales is your complete auto body repair shop. They provide free estimates and guarantee complete satisfaction. They'll work with your insurance company, make it easy for you, and they do windshield glass installation also. Contact Chad and Dan at C&D Auto today on County Trunk E in Arpin. And I see Dan of C&D Auto on the bleachers talking with former head coach Dan Hahn. Those two were actually opponents of each other's, a mere 40-some years ago, almost 50, in a dual meet when Pittsville and Auburndale used to have some fantastic duels. Now, Weiler moved into the Pittsville district, and his son was a wrestler for the Panthers, placed 4th at state, and now his grandsons are coming up. So wrestling's really a family sport. If your dad, if your brothers were wrestlers, chances are you're going to get into it yourself. Usually the way it goes, it's strange, it's rare to have an individual come out for wrestling who really had very little experience with it. And it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's usually a pretty good thing. For this next match, Chequamegon and Nekoosa. Nekoosa this year has co-head coaches. Paul Gellerup, who was an assistant for the Papermakers for many years, is stepped up to be a co-head coach this year, along with Josh Jensen, former wrestler for the Papermakers. And they have a very good young team. The Papermakers, their roster anyway that we got in front of us, they have 8 freshmen and 3 sophomores on their lineup. So a very young team. In fact, they only have 2 seniors. Last year for the Papermakers, Sawyer Ostrom, who graduated, made it to the state tournament. It's kind of cool that all 3 of the teams here today had one person make it to the tournament, to the state meet last year. For Chequamegon, Greg Morgan, I believe he was at 175 last year, and he made it to state for the Eagles. And for the Panthers last year, Rayson Schooley, he also made it to state. So the cool thing about wrestling is that it's an individual sport and a team sport. It's a blast when the team makes it, but that doesn't happen often. You know, maybe Coleman, Luxembourg, Casco, Mineral Point, making it to team state happens frequently. But for most schools, it's a rare thing. The Panthers actually made it to state 2 years in a row back in 2006 and 2007. Nekoosa, I believe it was 1995 when they actually won the team state competition. Kind of cool, the year they won, if I remember right, Central Wisconsin, Nekoosa won, Wisconsin Rapids won, and Athens won. So the 3 divisions were all won by Central Wisconsin teams. Kind of a cool thing. Just a reminder to you that Lakeside Oasis Convenience Store is the perfect wintertime stop when you're on the go. Fill up your tank, pick up bait and tackle, and grab your favorite goodies before you head out on the ice. Lakeside Oasis on Highway 80 south of Pittsville near Lake Dexter. And Arbor Vantage, this tree care service provides professional tree services in central Wisconsin, from tree removal and pruning to stump grinding and consultations. Arbor Vantage is your complete tree care partner. Look for them at arborvantage.com or on Facebook. Some of you who are probably a little new to the sport wonder what happens before a match starts. The referee, usually a coach from each side, and the team captains all meet out at the center of the mat. The reason they do that is at that time, the referee will flip the disc, and when it lands, whatever color it lands on, that team gets to decide whether they want to be the odd matches or the even matches. Now, why does that matter? You know, a lot of people it doesn't matter. I've seen coaches it doesn't matter to. But many times, winning that flip will win you the dual meet. It'll give you the advantage to call what you want to send out first. For instance, 106, that's the first weight class, so that's an odd match. 113 is the second weight class, that's an even match, and so on. Now, it depends, of course, on where we start for odd and even, but that's how they determine it. Several years ago, the Panthers were wrestling Omro at a tournament, and Omro had just a tough team. Probably, I think, 4 state returners and very high quality. The Panthers were good but young, but the Panthers won the flip. And so at 113, the Panthers forfeited to the state qualifier from Omro from the year before and went up to 120 and got a pin. And I think it happened at about 152 at the time. Same thing. Omro had the state qualifier. The Panthers dodged them, went up the weight, and got a pin up there. And it swayed the match, and the Panthers ended up winning that one by 3. I've even seen the state tournament be decided on who wins the flip. So it's a very important thing at the start of the match in a close meet. Now this last one where Pittsville beat Chequamegon quite handily, and this next one where Nekoosa will beat them quite handily. What Chequamegon wants to try to do if they win the flip is not only does it decide who goes out first, but it also decides who gets their choice of deciding if you want both up, if you want to ride, or if you want the bottom, or defer. But lots of times you want your wrestler to have that choice. So even though you might not be able to win a dual meet, you're going to pick the odd or even that will benefit your individuals the most. Chequamegon, that last match, yeah, granted they only sent 3 guys out, but they were wrestled very hard. None of them made it easy for the Panthers, that's for sure. This next match promises to be more of the same. Nekoosa has a deep lineup. Tonight I think they have 11 guys that are here to wrestle. It's actually Nekoosa Port Edwards, but I'm not sure how much help Port Edwards gives. I've heard some co-ops where it works great. I've talked to Melrose, Mindoro, and GET. They love the co-op. It just works so well for them. Other schools, I've heard it also works well. For Pittsville, they're low on numbers. There's only 165 kids in the high school, so it's hard to fill 14 weight classes. But with location, it's hard to co-op. Pittsville's not really close to anybody, so that makes a co-op very difficult. Nekoosa, on the other hand, Port Edwards is a natural co-op for them. If you remember Port Edwards back, I think it was Raleigh Kallstrom was their coach back in the 70s and 80s. They had tough teams, one tough team after another, good wrestlers. And, you know, those wrestlers back then have kids in high school now or grandkids. So for Nekoosa Port Edwards, it is a great co-op to have. And since Nekoosa's Division II and Port doesn't give them all that many more students, they're able to stay Division II. I've heard some schools like being in the divisions they are. Others would just as soon go to a different weight class, a different division. I think it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to run into tough people. You know, same thing with as the tournament series is approaching us rapidly now. Conference this week, the week after is regional sectional. Week after that is something new called team sectionals, and then it's state. So been a lot of changes. I'm going to discuss some of those changes that have been going on this year with the WIAA. I think it's really good for the sport of wrestling, some of the ideas that they've had. especially with girls wrestling. I'm not sure how I'm going to like the regional sectional thing, but I'm going to find out soon. Hey, before we get moving, pick up quick and easy meals when you're on the go at the market. Now open in Pittsville. Check out the daily specials, their hot food bar. Their subs are delicious. They serve daily. Shop local with Panther pride and support the hometown team at the market in Pittsville. And Kring's Cut Salon supports Auburndale Eagle athletes and teams. Stop at their salon in Blinker and say hi to Amy and her staff. Get a new look for the holidays at Kring's Cut Salon in Blinker. And we're going to take a little break before we come back, before the wrestling starts. Just to remind you, you are watching Pittsville Wrestling on Zaleski Sports.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield has tasty char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between. Check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See Chips' complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream, all served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield. Be a champ and have a chipperific day.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, how can I help you?
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken has been voted best pizza in Marshfield 16 years in a row. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken is ready for your call now. Choose drunken chicken, BLT, Western, mac and cheese, sweet chili chicken, and more. Plus, Scotty's has broasted chicken, fish sandwiches, salads, and desserts. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, 715-384-8118 and Scotty'sPizza.com.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, how can I help you?
Take your valuable possessions from outdoors to indoors with help from ShedsDelivered.com. It's your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds, all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. Headquartered in Loyal, Rod and April make it easy. Just visit ShedsDelivered.com to design your perfect structure. With short lead times and free delivery and installation, Sheds Delivered is the smart choice for outdoor storage. That's ShedsDelivered.com. Go today.
Hey, welcome back to the Pittsville Coliseum. I'm your announcer, Rick Winters. The producer tonight, Ryan Rasmussen. And Tabby's Blue Bayou backs the Pittsville Panthers. Stop in for some appetizers and a cold beverage after the game or anytime. Pizza, pretzels, nachos, and other snacks await you at Tabby's Blue Bayou in Pittsville. Or order for delivery with DoorDash. And Kring's Cut Salon supports Auburndale Eagles and athletes. They also support Pittsville too. Stop in at their salon in Blinker. Say hi to Amy and her staff and get a new look for the new year. Kring's Cut Salon in Blinker. Now, as I said, this next match of the night Going to be between the Nekoosa Papermakers and the Chequamegon Eagles. Should be starting shortly. For the Chequamegon, it's a long drive down here for the few matches they have. But to get competition, you got to make drives. Nekoosa, on the other hand, they originally a week ago were scheduled to be off tonight and totally did not plan on being wrestling at Pittsville on a Thursday. But if you recall how cold it was last weekend, their duel at Omro got canceled. Pittsville was supposed to be at Omro also. So this week, the Panther coach gave the Nekoosa coach a call and said, hey, why don't you come on over on Thursday? And Nekoosa said, yeah, we'd like to wrestle you. We'll be there. Should be an exciting match. Nekoosa's going to get a little warm-up with Chequamegon, as I said, and then the Eagles are headed for that fun 2-hour drive north. Find your next car, truck, SUV, or van at West Side Sales Auto Service in Auburndale. It's just a short drive from Rapids, Stevens Point, or Marshfield. They have been helping people find their next ride for nearly 50 years. West Side Auto Sales in Auburndale. Looks like the referee is out of his chair and starting to make a little move towards center of the mat. This match should be getting quite shortly. As I said, you'll know that the match is about to begin when everybody approaches the center for the coin flip, and that should be happening shortly. The friendly staff at Sweat's Country Corner Mart in Blinker serves up a large selection of food made to order daily, like fish fries, chicken dinners, and they have awesome pizzas. Family owned and operated for more than 100 years. Sweat's Country Corner Mart on County P, just off Highway 10 in Blinker. As you see, as I was explaining to you, the meeting takes place, the disc is flipped. Nekoosa wins the disc flip, and since they know they have this match won, just on sheer numbers alone, I am sure that the coach picked the positions in the second period for the wrestlers he needed it for. There's only going to be 3 matches wrestled in this duel, and if possible, I don't think it's possible in this one, but sometimes it's possible where every match that'll be wrestled will be an odd, or every match wrestled will be an even. It just depends on, numbers. For Park Falls, too, Noah Zigman is a senior, but Aiden McFadden will be back next year, and Ethan Otteson at 6'5", that is one tall wrestler. My son was 6'9", very tall wrestler on his own, and I can tell you, being tall in wrestling, if you have your body control, is a huge advantage, just in the leverage that you have. So, we're going to start this match at 144 pounds for Nekoosa. And at 144, Kelson Casey, a sophomore, puts the Papermakers on the board with a forfeit. Kelson, the sophomore, comes in this year with a record of 20-14. And we go up to 150. At 150, Nekoosa doesn't have anyone. And Park Falls is going to send their 50 out. Wait a sec, we are up to 157.
At 157, Chequamegon's
Nekoosa doesn't have a 57 either. So, without a person there, Park Falls gets the forfeit. Aiden McFadden finishes his night 2-0, moves his record on the year to 12-10. Now we'll have a series of forfeits here for the, well, not quite. We have 4 Park Falls. Ethan Otteson, the freshman, is at 165. So Ethan will be coming out against, I believe, Bentley Storley, a 165-pound ninth grader also for the Papermakers.
At 165, we have Schwang against Ethan Otteson against Nekoosa's Bentley Storley.
Now, Bentley Storley is a 10-13 freshman. He took third at the Nekoosa Invitational a couple weeks ago, and he quickly shoots in on Storley with that single leg. Storley, with that long body frame, catches an ankle. Look at him sprawl with that length. He cross faces in there nice, has the ankle, and he's going to spin behind and get 3. So for Ethan Otteson, that may be his first takedown of the year. He actually uses that long frame of his very well. Ethan Storley does a little sit out there, manages to do a quick turn in, but again finds himself underneath that body. Otteson just reaches behind, catches the single leg, working on that crossface and comes behind. Now, since the ref gave no points, that last time there wasn't a change. However, right there you saw a very nice roll out of Bentley Storley. Good roll, 2-point reversal. He puts on an arm bar here with 40 seconds still remaining. If he can get out to the side now, he's going to run that across, and there it is. And Otteson's in a lot of trouble, and there it is. Quick pin for Bentley Storley. And for Ethan Otteson, great experience on the night. Hopefully a good experience for him. And Bentley Storley picks up the pin with that first period maneuver that he did. Now there will be a few forfeits coming up for the Papermakers, as Noah Zigman is the only one left on the bench for Park Falls. Now up, Uriah Lucio. He is a sophomore. Took 4th at the Nekoosa Invitational, and with that forfeit, his record goes to 9-12 on the season.
At 190, Nekoosa's Drew Tedding receives a forfeit.
190 is Drew Tedding. Tedding is a junior. Very few matches on the season. In fact, his record now is 3-3. And we go up to 215. At 215 for the Papermakers tonight, it's Phoenix Alameda. He is a freshman for the Papermakers. And with that forfeit, his record goes to 7-7 on the season. And the heavyweight coming out, Kanan Lucio, also a freshman. And for Lucio, that forfeit gives him his first win on the season. You know, it's a tough season for him, but he's there. He's competing every night. Now we come around the horn to 106. And for the Papermakers, Sawyer Jensen, a freshman, also gathers in the forfeit. For 113 for the Papermakers, they have, there he is, Brandon Bond, another 9th grader, moves his record to 3-3. At 120 for the Papermakers is another freshman, Nolan Mantifol. Mantifol moves his record up to 19-14. Good record for a freshman at 120. At 126, Ryan Gellerup, a junior for the Papermakers, moves his record to 13-6. He suffered through a few injuries this year. but finally starting to put it together right at the right time as we near the end of the season. At 132, looks like it's going to be a double forfeit. Neither team has a 32-pounder. And at 138, give Park Falls credit. They're going to put Nolan Zigman out there, 5-14 record. He's going to go against probably the best wrestler for Nekoosa. Jacob Bertling took first at Nekoosa tournament, took first last weekend at the Cashton tournament. And Jacob enters tonight with a record of 28-5. The best record on the team by far. He was 24-11 last year, took third in regionals, and quickly shoots in on a nice double leg. 3-0 lead. Uses a cow catcher to catch Zigman for 4. Called out of bounds, but quickly advances to a 7-0 lead. And Noah Zigman is allowed to be up. In this case, Bertling said to the official, I want him up. I don't want to ride him. Just give him the escape. Rule change from, probably about 10 years ago, and very good rule change. And so a point goes down for Zigman, making it 7-1. Lots of time left for Bertling to pick up another takedown, and I'm sure that's what he's looking forward to. Tonight, for Bertling, he is the only senior on the squad for the Papermakers. Nice double leg, moving it up to 10-1. Fletcher Brock, also a senior for the Papermakers, who's been wrestling all year, is out sick tonight. And he would have been normally at 150. 30 seconds to go. Bertling's going to let him go again. Try to secure one more takedown. Get 10-point decision, or he's ahead by 10 points right now at 13-3. One more takedown would be a very commanding lead for him. Both of them doing a little hand fighting. Bertling moves in on a single leg, advances to a double. Puts Zigman right to his back and pins him in 1:42. So yeah, a long drive tonight for the Chequamegon Eagles, but Noah Zigman and Aiden McFadden both picked up wins on the night. No, excuse me, Aiden McFadden picked up 2 wins on the night for Park Falls. Noah Zigman and Ethan Addison wrestled well, but were unable to secure a victory tonight, and Park Falls have a nice, safe drive home. Hey, the featured match of the night between Pittsville Panthers, who are entering with a record of 9-4 for dual meets, against the Nekoosa Papermakers, with a record of 6-2 in the dual meets, will be coming up soon. Both teams will be taking the mat, warming up, but just a reminder, you are watching Pittsville Wrestling on Zaleski Sports.
Hiller's True Value in Marshfield, Central Wisconsin's Milwaukee Tool Destination Center. The tools you trust from the people you can depend on. Shop the store within a store and find what you're looking for.
That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Now that's what I was looking for.
Looks like you found what you're looking for.
We redesigned our store to offer the biggest selection of Milwaukee tools.
A selection so big you'll need a map to find your way out.
Hiller's True Value in Marshfield, Central Wisconsin's Milwaukee Tool Destination Center.
At House of Heating, making your home comfortable is our biggest priority. That's why we offer dependable HVAC solutions and quality work in Central Wisconsin. Our pros are knowledgeable in a wide variety of services so you can feel confident in your results. They'll offer the support you need, whether it's putting in a modern HVAC system or working on and maintaining your current unit. Get in touch with House of Heating at 715-384-3163 or contact houseofheating.com. House of Heating, heating and cooling the air you breathe.
We have team members in our lives, whether it's this or that or friends, and he's my team member that looked for my best interest. And he said, we're going to get you up walking without the walker. And I'm like, oh, really? And he says, yeah, we are. I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart to Shai and his staff because they made the impossible seem possible.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Severs to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale. We have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Tired of hearing about checking account features? So are we. It's more about what you can do with your money to live the life you want. Forward Bank puts your access to everything you need in the palm of your hand. Mobile deposit, recurring digital payments, transfer funds, or pay a friend easily. Yes, our checking is free and includes all that you would expect. It's supported by your neighbors and friends at Forward, dedicated to serving our communities. Open online today at forward.bank.
Find your next car, truck, sport utility, or van at Westside Service Auto Sales in Auburndale. Drive through their lot today to see rows and rows of vehicles ready to test drive. Or you can check out their complete inventory and see this week's featured vehicles at westsideservice.com. And check us out on Facebook. We're open 8 to 6 Monday through Friday or by appointment. At Westside, we service what we sell. Just a short drive from Rapid, Stevens Point, and Marshfield. Find your next ride at Westside Service Auto Sales in Auburndale, where we've been helping people find their next ride for nearly 50 years.
Whether you need deep sleep, beauty sleep, or just need to sleep it off, Mall Furniture has a huge selection of double-sided comfort sleep mattresses. When it's time for a double, it's no trouble. You'll flip over our great prices. There's 2 great sides to this mattress story, and they're made right here in Wisconsin. It's double-sided or nothing.
Get your perfect comfort sleep mattress from Mall Furniture and Mattress, West 9th Street, Marshfield.
See you on the flip side.
So, after a couple years of this, it's time for more money and better opportunities. That's where Mid-State Technical College comes in.
Are you a born leader? Is hospitality your thing? Maybe you're into efficiency. Or do you love building teams? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. So stop getting by and level up today.
I got referred to the orthodontist, and I was really nervous, but in my 2-year process, the staff was very welcoming and very kind to me. My brother also had treatment here, and he was very happy with a smile. I'd recommend Bruce Orthodontics to all my friends and family that want a beautiful smile just like us.
When I come in for my appointment, the wait is really short. All of the workers are very kind and sweet. They try to make sure that everything in my mouth is just right after my checkup, and Dr. Bruce is very nice.
I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
Retirement is a balancing act because everyone's financial situation is unique. A reverse mortgage loan can transform your home's equity into accessible cash, whether it's to pay off your mortgage, cover bills, or fund your dreams.
The cash is there if we need it, and it just takes a little stress off of our lives.
You have something else to fall back on.
Call me, Josh Kilty, your local retirement mortgage specialist, for a free consultation to help bring financial stability to your life.
Hey, welcome back to the Panther Fieldhouse. Pittsville's out there on the mat doing a little warm-ups. Nekoosa haven't just got off the mat. They don't quite need the warm-ups the way Panthers do, so they're taking a break on this one. Chequamegon is showering up and heading out to the bus soon for their 2-hour drive back north. This weekend is conference for both these schools. I'm not sure exactly where Nekoosa goes for conference. Like I said, I know Pittsville's up at Wittenberg-Burnhamwood for the CWC, Central Wisconsin Conference Tournament. The week after this will be a new thing this year in wrestling. Kind of an experiment, but I think it's an exciting experiment. On Friday night will be the girls' sectionals. Now, for those of you who follow wrestling, you know what's happened with girls wrestling the last few years. It has just taken off and exploded. This year, for girls sectionals, it's still one division. There's not enough girls yet to break off into say, even two divisions. So it's one division. I will be next week with Zaleski Sports at Marshfield doing the girls sectionals Friday night. I still don't know a lot of the details yet, but I can tell you I'm excited to be there. Girls wrestling is, there are some very, very skilled girls, which makes sense if you think about it, because if you're a boy wrestling at home at night, you know, practicing, if you don't have brothers, what do you do? Well, and I know a lot of parents, I didn't have girls, but a lot of parents who do have girls, they understand what the sport of wrestling can do for a person in more than just wrestling. It really prepares you for a lot of other things. Dan Gable, famous wrestler, Olympic champion from Iowa, once said, once you've wrestled, everything else is easier. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but I do know that there were many times when I was in college where I'd look back on some of my high school wrestling practices and, you know, whatever I was going through wasn't that hard. A few years ago, I was talking with Matt Hunutke. Matt was a wrestler for Pittsville, 117-0, Wisconsin's first four-time state champ. He's also the only four-time All-American for the Badgers who is from Wisconsin originally. They do have other four-time All-Americans, but only one who's wrestled for them from Wisconsin. Matt and I were talking a few years ago, and he said, you know what I hated most about Jerry Hahn's practices? Jerry Hahn was, Eric Hahn, our present coach, would have been his uncle. And Matt says, you know what I hated about his practices? And I said, the way he tried to crack you mentally every single night. And Matt looked at me and he said, that's it exactly. I hated how he worked on you mentally. I didn't mind the physical, but that mental. I said, yeah, but it made you a lot tougher when you got to the Badgers, didn't it? And on that, he agreed. Like I said, this year, for boys, the 14th, the WIAA is again doing something different. There won't be regionals this year, or sectionals. They're going to combine it. It's going to be a regional sectional thing. Now, down at state, they have 16-man brackets for Division 2 and 3 and 1. They've always had a 16 for 1, but 2 and 3 are getting 16-man brackets this year. They have 7 sectionals. So if you think about it, why didn't they have 8 sectionals? They didn't ask me, but I'm kind of wondering. So sectionals will be taking place in the state. I think there's about 14 teams at each sectional. Pittsville will be going to Independence for the regional sectional. Now, the top 4 teams from that weekend in points will be wrestling the following weekend against another sectional group. You're going to have 8 teams this year from now on meeting at team sectionals on a Saturday. This is going to be so much better than that Tuesday night meet. To have to travel for some of those schools on a Tuesday night, you had to go easy practice on Monday. You didn't practice on Tuesday. Wednesday, if you traveled a couple hundred miles, you were getting home late at night. Hard to have a good practice Wednesday. All of a sudden, you could have one nice practice on Thursday, and Friday you had to ease up for individual sectionals on Saturday. Now you have a 2-week period between qualifying for state as an individual and wrestling at the state tournament. And in that gap, they're going to have team sectionals. If you're looking for a super exciting day, team sectionals in this area for Division III is happening at Auburndale. And it's going to be awesome. It is going to be a blast. Auburndale has a very good young team this year. They won the Merriwood, but Marathon isn't a slouch. They are right with them. Then you start going to the other sectional, and I'm not exactly sure who's coming in, but whenever you take that many teams, you're going to have some tough teams at a team sectional. Filling 14 weight classes, the powerhouse schools usually can fill 12 to 14 weight classes. And if you can fill those weight classes, you've got an advantage. Sometimes, and it's 14 weight classes, it becomes a battle of attrition. Those who have the numbers in practice, in meets, just have stronger teams. Both teams tonight in this matchup that we're going to have, that I think is going to be a very exciting matchup. Both teams have very young squads. The Panthers have 3 seniors on their squad, and actually none of them are wrestling tonight. They're all out with injuries. Well, the Papermakers, they have just Jacob Bertling wrestling tonight. Jacob, 28-5, definitely tough kid. The other senior is Fletcher Brock. Fletcher's out tonight with an illness, 19-14. So the Papermakers also have a very young team. In talking with co-head coach Paul Gellerup, I asked him what it looks like for the next year. He told me that he's excited for the next year as they have many 8th graders, and going to be very fun, very exciting for them coming up. Currently, co-head coach Paul Gellerup is getting his lunch taken to him by his son, deservedly so. Once you get a little older, it's best to sit on the sideline. Banana splits on him right now. Nice, painful little move. And even though Paul's using his weight and every single ounce he has to his advantage, Paul's getting to be what my granddaughter calls a bad older. My granddaughter figured out a few months ago that every year I get on me, it's a bad older, kind of like Paul was just showing us. And every year that these younger people gain, it's a good older. After the sectionals taking place next week, and as I said, the week after team sectionals, the following week after that will be the individual state tournament, February 26th, 27th, and 28th down in Madison. Always a good time. I was pretty pleased. I had a record of, I think it was about 42 years in a row, something like that, before COVID stepped in and wrecked it. Unfortunately, I was bragging to the former mayor of Nekoosa, who on the chat lines always goes by mayor, and I was bragging about my 40 years, and he had something like 58. Just an amazing stretch of state tournaments. I know some of you who go to the basketball state tournaments have been going for years, so you know what it's like. Wrestling's about the same. After the individual state tournament, the week after that, it's going to be a blast with the team state tournament. Now, the team state tournament used to take place in the field house down at Madison. This year, they've moved it to the Civic Center in La Crosse. Going to be more teams, going to be more excitement, and I hope I'm going to be there. Hey, just a reminder, Joe's Refrigeration is your full-service de-level dealer. Been serving Central Wisconsin for 60 years from Withee, and now from their Auburndale location. Get top equipment for your milking parlor, including the de-level VMS series. Their techs can service your commercial refrigeration too. Joe's Refrigeration in Withee, and now in Auburndale. Still Willie's in Auburndale is now serving lunch. Open Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for lunch at 11 a.m. Check out their daily specials and get ready for their soup and burgers coming soon. New owners, but they are still Willie's, downtown Auburndale. See you at the Still. And Brock & Decker, when buying or selling, Brock & Decker Real Estate is the team you need by your side. Brock & Decker has all the tools you need to feel confident in selling or buying. Call Sammy or Sue today or visit them on North Central Avenue at brockanddecker.com or on Facebook. The flip's going to be taking place soon. I know that the Panthers always do a lot of moving, trying to get the most favorable matchups. So I'm sure for them, they've been talking to each other, Coach Eric Hahn and assistant coach Jeremy Doerr. They know what they want. And there's no doubt in my mind that co-head coaches Paul Gillerup and Josh Jensen, they also know what they want on this flip. They've talked it over. So that's going to be a very interesting flip coming up soon. Once Ted Kiefer gets out of his chair, he's pretty comfortable sitting there right now. Be Well Studio in Marshfield is offering Black Friday free a small business Saturday deals. Buy one, get one free, in-store only. All packages, individual session a.m. to 5 p.m. From major collisions to minor dings, West Side Auto Body in Auburndale can get your ride looking like its original self again. Call Tom at West Side Autobot. Now, every match, they move up one weight to start the next duel. So I think we're starting tonight's duel at 150. I think the last one started at 144. I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to know soon. Bucks and Barry's Cafe in Babcock is the place to go for signature pies and homemade food. Check out their daily specials and Friday fish fry. It is a cozy, fun-filled atmosphere at Bucks and Barry's Cafe. Open 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week on Highway 80 in Babcock and on Facebook. Hey, if you have not been to Bucks and Barry's, order the shrimp. Trust me, you're going to love it. Next Step Prosthetics provides prosthetic and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their owner wrestled for Spencer back, mid-90s, I believe. Express Employment. Express Employment professionals have relationships with all local businesses and job openings. Call or stop in at Express Employment to find the right career path for you. And we now have the flip taking place. Nekoosa won the flip. They seem quite happy with that. And you can kind of see Pittsville wasn't quite as happy with that. So that's going to make a big difference in this match. Both teams have very good records for this late in the season. The Panthers 9-4, outstanding record considering that they forfeit a number of weights this year. Like I said, their 8th grade class next year is going to step right in. I think there's 9 8th graders. They're losing 3 seniors. Going to be a whole different team they're going to have next year. Nekoosa is also going to be experiencing quite a bit of change over next year. Like I said, they're only losing 2. They're picking up 6 or 7. Kind of exciting when you see groups like that. In a small school, you'll see them coming from years in advance. Pittsville has a great number of 8th graders, but they only have one 7th grader currently, and only a couple of 6th graders. But you look down in the junior or the elementary practice room some of those nights, and you look at some of the real little kids out there wrestling and the things they know, the things they're showing. It's another good group of kids coming up way down. So when you're in a small school, you enjoy the good years because you know what's coming, and unless you're one of those with just powerhouses, it's not always going to be like that. So, starting out the match at 150, as I thought, Pittsville's Cash Osterman going to walk out there and get a nice 6 points to put the Panthers into the lead. Pittsville's going to enjoy that lead. At 157, kind of a surprise here. They're going to put Zach Roberts out to take the forfeit at 157. I thought they might move Roberts up to 65. He had wrestled Bentley Storley early in the year and had pinned him in the first period. But they're opting not to do that. Apparently they know something I don't know. They do have, by the way, a very good sophomore here. Corbin Lee, who is 12 and 14, is going to be wrestling Bentley Storley, who's 11 and 13. Very similar records. Corbin Lee shoots in nice and low on that single leg. Storley sprawls out of that. Lee moves it to a double, but he doesn't have good control of the legs. And when I thought he was going to go to a very neutral position, and I think so did Storley, he shoots in again on that single leg. Storley's got his ankle picked up, but hard to crossface. Storley got his hips down on the mat. Lee sees those hips on the mat. If he can pull his head out, his head's caught in between. Now, if he secures the hips, this is still a takedown, but he could not get the hips, and Ted Kiefer calls it a stalemate. They're going to go at it again. I think the Panthers here are hoping for a win out of Lee. That's why they moved, or they took the forfeit at 157 for Roberts, is they think Lee can win this one. Storley's got a headlock on him, and he comes down with that headlock. Lee is in a lot of trouble here. A lot of time left, and Nekoosa picks up 6 at 165. Big pin there for the Papermakers. Bentley Storley, the freshman, secures a first period pin. A huge 6 points for the Papermakers. Match that I'm sure the Panthers thought they could win, and it didn't happen. Moving up now to 175. Uriah Lucio for the Papermakers, 9 and 12 sophomore. Going against Dylan Cullen, a junior for the Panthers, with a record that is a little below what one would hope. Dylan on the year in 30 matches has won 3. Now Dylan approaches the mat hard every time. The junior's been around wrestling for a long time. Just a matter of that body adjusting, especially up here at 175. For Uriah, he took 4th at the Nekoosa Invitational a couple weeks ago. At the Cashin Invitational last week, though, he failed to place. As I said, he's 9 and 12 on the season. And his brother, I believe it's his brother, will be wrestling at 285 for the Papermakers. Uriah's got a crossface on. If he can secure that ankle and get behind, he's going to pick up 3 on Cullen. He's got the 3. Took him a minute to secure that takedown, but he does. He's now working on those arms. Trying to get an arm behind the back on Cullen. Put a half on, but Cullen on his knees was able to look away from that. Cullen tries to stand up, but Lucio brings him right back down to the mat. 30 seconds left in this first period. And locked hands is being signaled by Ted Kiefer. Cullen's going to get 1 point escape and 1 point for the locked hands. Going to make it 3-2 here at the end of the first period. And the referee points out to Lucio that you locked your hands. He says, yeah, I know. It was Pittsville's choice there. He defers, and Nekoosa's going to choose down. My guess is he's going to do a quick stand-up here. No, he tries for a switch, moves it to a stand-up, and forces Cullen over, gets the 2-point reversal. Pulled that reversal off in only 6 seconds. Now he's trying to pull the arm out, but he's not getting all the way off to the side. To pull that arm out like he would like to do, he'd have to move his whole body over. He tried for a cheap tilt there, but didn't have enough leverage with the hips underneath. Here's a power half on Cullen. If he sweats out to the side there, he's going to drive Cullen over with this because he has the leverage. He did pick up back points, but I think he only picked up 3 back points. Now in wrestling, when you have them on their back for 2 seconds, it's 2 points. 3 seconds, 3, and 4 seconds is 4. And if, for some reason, it has to be stopped with a count of 4, you get a bonus point for back points. So kind of a cool little change in rules over the last couple of years. Lucio with another half, and Cullen this time is flat. Quick pin for Uriah Lucio in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And that ties this dual meet up at 12. Now going to 190. And the paper makers do not have a 90-pounder. And I can guarantee you, wait a sec, I am wrong. Drew Tedding, a junior with a 3-3 record. 3-3 record will be taking the mat for the paper makers. Drew is fairly new. Jackson Doer, on the other hand, was 4th at sectionals last year with a 32-13 record. This year, Jackson, 24-8. He played football at about 225 pounds. He's at 190 now. So for those of you who want the Ozempic or something like that, Jackson cut all that weight the hard way. In wrestling now, because of the body fat measurements, you're only allowed to lose a certain percent. I think it's 3% a week. So when you start cutting from as high up as he was, it takes a long time to get to where you want. Jackson at 215 at heavyweight was not a very big wrestler at that weight. Skilled, but not big. Here at 190, Jackson is a pretty big 190-pounder. He is Pittsville's only leg rider. Very good at it when he gets the legs in. And there comes the legs. Here comes the Turk. He doesn't quite have the Turk enough for 3. Now he does. So he's going to pick up his 3 points here. No, he got 4 out of Ted. He quickly goes back again. Now, the way he's going, he's just going to pick up the tech fall. What Pittsville needs out of here is 6. So he's going to have to do this a different way. He's already up 11-0. So if he doesn't get a pin very shortly on this one, and there's only 30 seconds left in the first period, Pittsville's not going to get the points, and I don't think he's going to secure a pin with this move. He gave him the 4. That should be. No. Okay. He bent the leg a little too far back with that Turk ride and got called for illegal. Scores 14-1. Panthers might want him not to try to turn him here in the last 8 seconds, because that would give him another period to try to get the pin. And that is what will happen. At the end of the first period, Jackson Dewar from Pittsville is holding on to a 14-1 lead over Drew Tedding, the junior from Nekoosa. And here Tedding wisely chooses both up. Now, why is that wise? If Dewar gets the takedown, this match is over. The only way you can continue the match is if Dewar were to take him right to his back, and that didn't happen. So give the papermaker a ton of credit there, as he holds the Panthers to only a 5-point decision. Only 5, I'm sure they were thinking for 6. Here the referee, Ted Kiefer, is explaining to Jackson why he got that penalty point called on him. A very important thing to know for the tournament series coming up. Once you get into that regional sectional tournament, every point gets to be big, and you want to make sure. This is the 215s, and Pittsville's going to make a little move here where their heavyweight, Devin Tregolo, who weighed in at 215, is going to wrestle that weight. Tregolo's been wrestling heavy all year. He is wrestling, I believe, Phoenix Elmada. Phoenix is 7-7 on the year, and nice double leg. I can see why Pittsville put Tregolo here. They're hoping again to pull this one off. They're going to move Sawyer Phillips, their 215, up to heavy. And Phoenix Almada picks up 4 points on the near fall. Bloody nose for Devin Tregolo. He'll have to be getting that fixed. With the 3-point takedown, I see the near fall was only 3, so Devin Tregolo finds himself down to Phoenix Almada, 6-0, with only 34 seconds gone in the first period. Devin Tregolo for the Panthers is 16-14. And as I said, most of his matches have been wrestled at heavyweight. Last year, he was 5-16, so he has shown great improvement in his second year on varsity. Phoenix Almada, on the other hand, is a 9th grader for the Papermakers. Very strong, put together freshman. And as I said, 7-7 at 215 is a very respectable record for a freshman. I'm sure the Papermakers were hoping right there to get the pin and finish them off. Wrestling is the one sport where you can be down by 14 points and win it in 5 seconds. I don't think there's another sport quite like that where it's never over. And I've seen it happen many times where someone is down by a boatload of points and comes back to win. Almada's doing a nice job of arm control. He's got that wrist of Tregolo's that keeps him from getting up. He keeps his weight on him nice. Here comes a power half. Tregolo looks away from it. Tries to do a stand-up, but Almada says, not today. Almada would love to ride him out for this last little 30 seconds and get out of here at this first period with a 6-0 lead. If he can turn him, he'll take it. And here comes a half. There he's got him over. It looks like he is flat. So again, the Panther attempt at making something happen doesn't happen. And Nekoosa at 215, they go back into the lead. So Pittsville tried to move their 215 and 285s around, hoping to win them both. Now they're hoping to win one as Sawyer Phillips, a sophomore, comes out for the Panthers. He will be going against Kanan Lucio, a ninth grader. Now Phillips was 4-12 last year. He's 7-9 this year, so good improvement. And he's really come on. Kanan Lucio is 1-14 for the Papermakers, a ninth grader. Phillips gets a quick takedown, puts that power half on, cranking him over. He's got to get his weight on him more. Lucio's able to struggle and keep that shoulder up. Now Phillips moves that chest over a little harder on the shoulder that's up. Probably going to be able to keep it down very soon. It's hard to make it for a minute and a half when you got a half on you that tight. Phillips is doing a real good job of keeping his weight on him too. He moves around trying to figure out how can he get those shoulders down. He gave up the half, and Lucio might be able to get out of this. He is. Nice job of fighting on the bottom there by Kanan Lucio, the ninth grader. Phillips puts another half on him. This time, Lucio's looking away from it. It's not going to be as easy to do. He tilts his body into a C and looks away from that half. You can't get a guy over like that. It'd be difficult. Phillips is trying again, but again, Lucio brings that outside leg up, tilts that body into a C, and it's going to be hard to crank him over. He knows how to stop that half. Sometimes what you do, and Phillips just tried it now, you try to throw that half on from the other side. Sometimes it'll catch the guy on bottom, make him more susceptible for making it work. The half didn't work. He's now trying for a cradle. He's going to run out of time, though, in this first period. And that ends the first period. So Sawyer Phillips, after one, has a nice 7-0 lead over Kanan Lucio. Lucio's choice, he wisely chooses to ride. He does have the weight advantage. If he can use that, wear Phillips down a little bit. Didn't happen though, as Sawyer quickly gets the escape. Then moves around, picks up the 3-point takedown, moving out to an 11-0 lead. He's going to keep trying that half. Lucio knows though that half's coming, so it's going to be hard for him to get it. Trying to pull an arm back there. If he could bar that arm behind the back, something different than a half, I think he could get Lucio. The half worked for him the first time, but Lucio says, okay, now I know what that is. You're not going to do it again. Phillips is trying it again. If he could get the head tilted to this side, he might have a chance of making it work. Lucio really knows, though, now how to stop that half, especially from that side. Referee hits Lucio for stalling. Lucio's job out there is to make it go 6 minutes. This is probably going to get called potentially dangerous. Lucio's doing an excellent job of staying off his back. Not letting Phillips put that half on him at all. He's probably going to get hit for stalling, though, pretty soon here as Ted Kiefer's looking at him on the bottom. Lucio's going to get through this second period. Going to take us to the third. It's going to be Phillips' choice in the third. I'm sure the Pittsville coaches want him to ride. They do. They know that if they're going to have any chance in this match, they got to get a pin here. Their chances really dwindled when they lost at 65 and 215. Sawyer Phillips tries that half from the same side every time. And Lucio knows right what's coming. See how he brings that leg up on the outside, making his body into a C, looking away? Perfect defense for a half. Now the referee probably is going to hit Lucio pretty soon for a lack of movement on the bottom. Going to hit the top guy too, and good call. Phillips on that half, he's thrown that half on, but he's really not putting a lot of effort to sliding off. So the referee says, you got to put a little more effort into that. Nekoosa does give up a point for stalling, makes it a 12-0 score. Oh, this time he almost had it. He hesitated. That gave Lucio a chance to reset. Phillips had him going. There's 1 minute left in this period. And right now, currently, it's only going to be 4 team points. I am sure the Panthers are hoping for a lot more than 4 out of this. Now he's got the half going. Lucio, you got to remember, this time is much more tired than what he was in that first period. If he can get out of this, though, and he did. Great job on the bottom for the papermaker heavyweight. Only gives up 5. I'm sure the Panthers were hoping for 6. And while that puts Pittsville in a 22-18 lead as we come around the corner, going down, the papermakers are really in firm control here. They have very deep lineup with a 6-pounder, a 13, a 20. Pittsville can't compete at those, and this 4-point lead is going to disappear quickly. At 1:06, the Panthers will be forfeiting to Sawyer Jensen, and Nekoosa grabs a 24-22 lead. Pittsville's also going to be forfeiting here at 1:13 to Ryan Gellerup. And for Gellerup, 2 wins on the night. Pittsville almost out of wrestlers. This match here will clinch the dual meet for the papermakers.
At 120 pounds, Nekoosa's Nolan title receives a forfeit.
And as I said, Pittsville needed to pull off some wins in those upper weights where they had moved people around and were trying. It didn't happen, and Nekoosa now has a commanding lead.
At 126 pounds, Nekoosa's Ryan Gellerup receives a forfeit.
That was Ryan Gellerup there at 126.
At 132 pounds, we have a double forfeit.
Nekoosa's other people were at 120. Nolan Mantifol got the forfeit. Sawyer Jensen at 116. And at 113, Bradley Bond got the forfeit. Pittsville does try to pull up this last one. Jacob Bertling, Nekoosa's best wrestler at 29-5, moves to 30-5. And Pittsville is going to move their 138-pounder, Aiden Federwitz, up to 144. Nekoosa at 144 tonight has Kelson Casey, 20-14. So records are pretty close to even. One is 22-14, the other is 20-14. Grades are pretty even. Casey has a slight weight advantage of 6 pounds, but really 6 pounds for a middleweight's not a huge difference. So this is going to be a very good match for the last match of the evening. Nekoosa's ahead by 26, so they have the duel won. Federwitz goes in there with the Firemen's. Trying for a dump, can't get it. He does have the elbows. Chest crusher would have worked there, but he throws him off. Nice shot coming right back. Kelson Casey with a nice shot. Federwitz did the first shot, then he relaxed. Casey took advantage of it, shoots in and gets the 3-point takedown. Keeping his weight up on Federwitz's shoulders, making it hard for him to do his stand-up. Federwitz is working down there for hand control. Got a spiral right on, but Federwitz rolls out, gets the escape. And Federwitz again shoots in on that dump. Casey again counters it. Both wrestlers battling for position. Casey's got the long arms. Reaches on in there. He's got a cradle locked up. Oh, but while moving him in, Federwitz takes advantage of that movement. He picks up the 3-point takedown. He's going to pick up, nope. No back points for him though. So Casey had the cradle locked up. He was thinking of trying to keep his weight in, his legs in bounds, and pick up that cradle point. I spent so much time worrying about keeping his feet in that Federwitz countered him and gets the takedown, almost the back points. Federwitz now with a coffee grinder. Going to use that to ride out this last period. Moved it up to an arm bar, but ran out of time. So, after one period of play, Aiden Federwitz holds a 4-3 lead over Kelson Casey. Kelson's choice this time. He's going to pick both up. He does a quick shot on the takedown. He's got that inside position, setting Federwitz up. If Federwitz pushes into him, he's got to throw. Federwitz pushes away but gets caught underneath, and Kelson uses that long body. Going to come around behind. All he's got to do is come behind like that and get the 3. Kelson Casey uses that long body to his advantage, and Federwitz didn't have a counter for it that time. With that takedown, Kelson has a 6-4 lead. Federwitz with a quick escape. Makes it 6-5. He shoots in for that dump, and he's got that dump locked up. 3 there. Federwitz grabs an 8-6 lead. Federwitz really has a good coffee grinder if he can get that wrist. He knows how to put that tight waist on, and he rides really tough. See how far he reaches with that tight waist. You squeeze that tight waist, it takes a lot of gas out of the guy on bottom. He's trying to get that coffee grinder, and Kelson knows he's trying for that coffee grinder, so he doesn't want him to have that wrist. They're just barely in bounds. Time is ticking, and I'm sure Federwitz doesn't mind this time ticking. And as soon as that foot came up in the air, they're out of bounds. Wrestling's really changed over the years. Years ago, both guys had to have all the body parts in bounds, and it was tough to score. It's changed now where all you need is one body part if you have the mat room on the outside. So Kelson gets a quick sit out to stand up for an escape. Makes it 8-7. 10 seconds left in this second period. Federwitz again tries for that dump. Kelson tries to throw him. Both wrestlers are really aggressive on their feet. And Federwitz has an 8-7 lead. It's going to be his choice, and he's going to pick bottom. Kelson hasn't been able to ride him at all, so I'm sure Federwitz is hoping to pick up a quick escape and maybe move it into a takedown. Now, what Kelson Casey's going to do here on the ride is if he can't turn Federowitz in the first minute, he's going to have to let him go. Because he's trailing by 1, and 8-7's not how he wants this match to end. Aiden would love to get a reversal here. Gets a reversal, it gives him a 3-point lead. He'd take the 1-point escape if he gets it, but Kelson was hoping that Aiden put his legs a little close to his head, but he didn't do it. Quickly tried to hit him with that cradle. Federowitz is now in a tripod, and Kelson's trying to cradle him. Federowitz grabs the head and manages to move to a stand-up. Federowitz now has a 2-point lead with 1 minute remaining. Shoots in for that dump again. And gets that 3-point takedown. Federowitz moves to a 5-point lead. Kelson Casey's definitely gassing. Federowitz going to score some back points here. Going to get 4 back points. If he can grapevine those legs, he could get the pin. In there really deep, but nice moving by Kelson Casey. Gets to his belly. Aiden Federowitz is going to get the win. 16-7's the score, but Kelson Casey did a nice job of not giving up the pin. Final match of the night, a very good match to watch, exciting, and Aiden Federowitz is going to get the 16-7 win. Six minutes may not seem like a long time, but when you're wrestling, it's an eternity. And Aiden Federowitz gets the win for the Panthers. The Papermakers, though, by winning the matches that they needed to in that upper division, they are the ones who come away with a 48-26 victory. Last dual meet of the season for these two teams. Hey, stick around. The Nasonville Dairy has the postgame show. It's coming up next. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds at Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or at nasonvilledairy.com.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fury, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Keflatiri, Kefla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Big night for you tonight, 2 pins. Tell me, how's the year going for you so far?
It's pretty good. Some wins, some losses, but looking forward to sectionals this weekend, conference.
Conference this weekend is where?
It's at home actually.
At home?
Yep.
Conference? Awesome. And then where are you headed for regional sectionals?
I'm not sure.
Osceola. Okay. Well, good luck on the upcoming. How do you compare this year to last year as far as your wrestling's going?
It was a little rougher coming into high school. I was used to like the middle school kids. They weren't as strong, but coming into high school, it's a very different environment than it was in middle school. So.
Okay. Your team looks pretty good. What are you looking forward to as this year progresses and goes on?
Hopefully looking to go to state this year. Get some more wins, more pins.
Okay, state's always a goal for everybody. You're a sophomore, right? Freshman. So you've got a lot of good years coming up ahead. Okay. Your first post-game show, how'd you like it?
It was pretty good.
Okay. I'm going to let you close it out. Say your name and you're in the house.
It's Bentley. I'm Bentley Storley and I'm in the house.
Good job. Thank you. Hey, watch for yourself on YouTube. On YouTube? Yeah, Zaleski Sports.
All right.